Hey everybody, welcome to 2020. Josh Larsen here with the Rage team, and we just want to say a heartfelt thank you for an incredible 2019. Once again, most of our business in 2019 came from you guys, either repeat clients working with us again or our clients sending us their friends and family. So we're super grateful. This is the way we love doing business because it means we get to work with the people that we like working with. So it's a lot of fun. Thanks also for coming out to our movie night a couple weeks ago. About 300 of you came out and hung out with us for a Saturday and watched some movies together, and we just had a lot of fun. We look forward to that event every year, and it means a lot that you continue showing up. So thank you for your support. We want to take just a couple minutes and give you a market update on what's going on here in the local Denver real estate market, because this time of year, there's always articles that come out saying the Denver market is tanking, and we're simply not tanking. What's happening is journalists are seeing the last quarter of the year, which is when the market is at its slowest, and inferring from that the Denver market is shifting dramatically over to a buyer's market, and it just quite isn't as bad as it might seem. It's actually still a very strong seller's market. So we're going to show that to you. First, it'll be helpful to take a look at 2019, what happened in 2019, and then spend a couple of minutes just looking at what we expect to happen in 2020. So in 2019, we did see a slight decline in our speed of sales. So if you were a seller in 2009 and you put your home on the market, you had about a 12.7% chance of selling your home in the first week it was on the market, which meant your home was probably going to sit for a little while. That dropped to about a 9.5% chance in 2010 and 2011. So not many people were selling their homes in the first week. By the time you got to 2015, more than half of all sellers were selling their home in the first week that it was on the market. That's when our market was at its peak. It was the strongest seller's market we have ever seen in the Denver real estate market. So you had a 53% chance of selling your home in the first week in 2015. Last year, that dropped down to about a 40% chance. So over the last few years, we've seen a slight decline in how quickly homes are selling and a slight increase in how long homes are taking to sell, how long they're having to sit on the market. Secondly is the rate of appreciation. How fast is our market appreciating year over year? That's a key indicator of the strength of the market. So in 2011, when we were at our lowest, we had negative appreciation in the amount of about 1.2%. That means your home between 2010 and 2011 lost about 1% of its value, which is not actually as dire as a lot of people seem to remember that crash being. You lost 1 to 2% year over year in 2011. However, by the time we got back into 2015 and had fully recovered and hit our peak, we were about 14% appreciation year over year, which is not sustainable. In fact, even though that's a really strong seller's market, nobody would look at that and say that's healthy. It's actually wildly out of balance. It's a strong seller's market, it's great for sellers, but it's not great for buyers, and no market can sustain that over the long haul. And sure enough, we've slowly started tapering off of that number and decreasing in our amount of appreciation year over year, which is a good thing. It's actually a sign of returning to health and balance in our marketplace. We tend to average in Denver about 4 to 6% appreciation, give or take, as you average out for the last 30 to 40 years of real estate. So as we continue to return to that 4 to 6%, it's a good thing for our market, and it means we're getting healthier and healthier, not worse and worse. Last year, we did hit 3.3% appreciation year over year, so it does seem like things are starting to level out. But again, we're not crashing. How did 2019 compare to previous years? Our friend over at First American Title, Megan Aller, puts these reports out every month, and in my opinion and our opinion, she is the #1 resource for market statistics and an expert in how the market's doing. So as you're reading the articles that are out there on the state of the Denver market, if they don't quote Megan Aller, you don't need to read them because they're not talking to the expert. She averaged 2006 to 2018 and projected where 2019 should have gone based on those numbers. And you can see here that we were just under those projections. So we started the year on an average sold price of $493,000, and we finished the year at just almost $520,000. So we climbed throughout the course of the year. Another thing that happened last year is something that happens every single year. We started low, $493,000, climbed and peaked out at about May, and then slowly started declining throughout the course of the year. That happens every year, and sure enough, our peak was $547,000 for an average sold price, and we finished at $520,000. Now, that's 2019. It was a very normal, strong seller's market. What do we expect for 2020? Fortunately, the sky isn't falling, and we'll be able to show you that by just looking at a few key statistics. First of all, inventory levels. For a market to be balanced, it needs about 6 months worth of inventory on the market at any given time. That's balance. It's not a seller's market, it's not a buyer's market, it's just even. Way back in 2010, we had almost 12 months worth of inventory. We were wildly out of balance in 2010. We were a strong buyer's market at that point. In 2017, we got all the way down to 1 month worth of inventory on the market, which is a strong seller's market. The pendulum swung. In 2019, we increased in inventory a little bit, but we closed out the year at less than 2 months worth of inventory. That is a key indicator in determining whether we're a seller's market or a buyer's market. The bottom is not falling out. The truth is, we have a ways to go before we'll be balanced, and we want to return to balance. That's a good thing. So we're headed in the right direction. Inventory is slowly starting to climb. That'll ease some of this pressure that we're facing out there, especially for folks trying to buy, and we'll return to more of a balanced market. But the sky is not falling. Secondly, demand remains high. We still have way more buyers out there than we have homes to sell them. And that's primarily being fueled by low interest rates. Interest rates remain incredibly low, somewhere around 4%, and which means in most cases, it's cheaper for you to own a home than it is to rent that same home. And as long as that remains the case, we're going to fuel a strong buyer pool, a large number of people looking to buy. So if you're in that boat, you're thinking about renting versus owning, and you just have a lot of questions, we would love to have that conversation with you and see if it makes sense for you to buy now. And then lastly, what we expect for 2020 is that the year is going to follow the same trends that we have observed year over year over year, which means prices are going to increase from January to December. We don't know how much they're going to increase. We don't know what the overall rate of appreciation will be. That gets into predictions and forecasting, and nobody knows. That's the truth. But more than likely, it'll be more expensive to buy the same house in January in December. So if you're a buyer and you're thinking of waiting through the spring and waiting for like July and August, maybe even November to buy, true, it will be a slower market then, but you will probably pay more for the same house than you would in January. We expect prices to climb over those 12 months. If you're a seller, the best month of the year right now to sell a house in Denver is March. That being the case, no matter when you're thinking of selling, if you're a seller who has to sell in July or August or even November, it's still a strong seller's market. There's never been a better time over the last 30 years than this window that we're in right now to sell a home in Denver, and we can help you no matter when you need to sell your house. So that's the market. It's not falling. We actually remain in a season of strength for sellers, and we're heading toward more balance, which will be good for everybody. If you've got any questions about any of that stuff, feel free to reach out. If you are a seller or a buyer, or you're thinking of those options, feel free to reach out. We would love to talk with you. Or if you know anybody else who's in the market thinking about buying or selling, reach out. We'll set up a free consultation, and we're having those conversations all the time. So thank you. Thank you again for a wonderful 2019, for your continued support, and here's to a great 2020. We look forward to seeing you. Take care.